Adobe Radio. The future of alternative. This is Tess Miles.
And now, here's automotive expert, Nick Miles.
This week, in honor of Mother's Day, I'm Mum's Motor Majesty, along with Trish. She's our carpool queen. And then there's Marconi, and he is cruising for a compliment from his mom, which he'll never
That's
get.
Right. I sent her a bunch of stuff. I learned the best thing to do if you don't live in the same city as your mother. Just send her flowers through Instacart.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And my sister was out in the yard doing yard work for my mom, and the Instacart lady sent me a picture of my sister holding the flowers. It was great.
Did your mom at least call you to say thank you?
I hope not. We don't talk a lot. My mom is a MAGA maniac, and I love her very much, but we don't agree on anything politically. And then, it's sad. It sucks. And a lot of people go through that. They lost their mothers to QAnon and, Trump. And I hate that, but it's true. But I still honor my mother, because I was taught at an early age, honor thy father and mother.
There you go. So you don't talk to her, but you send her gifts once a year or twice a year or three times a year.
Well, I did talk to her before the election, and then she we just haven't talked.
But you sent her flowers, so you did your duty.
I mean, I love her. She is my mother. Yeah. But, it's very difficult. But you have a completely different relationship with your mom. Your mom,
Me mum.
She's an art major. What is her degree? She
has a master's degree in art therapy.
Yeah.
She's an artist.
She's therapy.
Retired. Yeah, art therapy.
Wow.
And she knows what colors do to you. Says, no, don't paint it that color. It'll make you more aggressive. All right.
So what color is good to bring you peace?
I think it depends ages. What age you are. So it's different for everybody in different ages, I think.
She should be selling this online. I mean, she could make a lot of money. I mean, if she had a TikTok account, I would buy whatever she's selling.
Really?
Yeah.
Mom, get a TikTok. You got a customer.
I mean, come on. Have you seen the lunatics that are on there? I'm not saying your mom's a lunatic. I'm just saying your mom is actually really intelligent. I've met her very many times, and she's a lovely human. I think she could, and she's a teacher. Yeah. So people would love her.
Something though, that my mom she never, she was kind of in the background of our lives. Our dad taught us everything. So if we needed something, if we needed comforting, if we needed food, if we needed help with something, it was mom. And if we needed to learn to drive and those things, it was always dad. I don't know if it was the same in your family.
I don't know. I didn't really have a dad, so I don't know.
Okay. So your mom did everything for you. Did she teach you to drive?
I don't remember. I think my stepdad tried to teach me, but it was a lost cause. Nobody in my life had patience for anything. They're always annoyed, because when I was growing up, kids weren't special. Now they're very special. Oh, that's great. Good job. Nobody said that to me, So I was prepared for a life on radio where everybody hates you. That's how I was raised.
Wait, so do you remember the first car that your mom had or she took you around in?
My mom had some nice cars when I was growing up. Her first one, I believe, was a 65 Impala my grandpa gave to her.
What?
Right.
And I'll tell you, my mom...
That was a hoopty car.
Well, not then. I mean, it was a nice ride, except for she ran it into a telephone pole when I was in it.
Oh.
Right by our house.
Oh, no.
Was everyone okay?
It was like she had a Betty Draper moment. I don't know what happened, but it was we were okay. But the car was damaged, and then I think we got a different car after that. And then she had like a 67 Chevelle. She always had these souped up rides, and then eventually, we had normal cars, like an Oldsmobile.
Normal cars. Trish, do you remember your mom's first car?
This is really strange, but our household did not have a car. We lived in such a small city that we walked to the grocery store, we walked to the post office. If we had to go somewhere, our neighbor, she would take us. But I grew up without a car in my household until it was time for me to drive, and I learned by myself. My friend was like, here, and it was a stick shift. And I just got in and really ruined that car so bad. It was a Ford Escort, and I just...
Oh, you didn't ruin anything. You're fine. Probably still runs that car.
It was... it was interesting. But you know what? After I learned on that car, I could drive anything. Like doesn't, even to this day, I can drive anything.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone remembers their mom's first car. Or in your case, her first car was your first car.
Yeah, and Nick, I was thinking about my grandma Pearl, who you remember. She used to be on our radio show together, and she was, she was the queen of my life. She supported everything I did. She gave me recorders and microphones, and she wanted me to, explore my creativity.
Oh, it's her fault. It's her fault.
Yeah,
I get it now.
And she always drove Buick Electras. She started out with like a 65 Electra, and then I remember like an 88 Buick Electra or something. She used to deliver Avon in it, and this is what my grandma would do. She didn't have a lot of money. So she would go, when I would go to stay with her, and I didn't know this was happening when it was going on. We would go from house to house, and I was really shy. I liked to stay in the car, but she would make me come out and meet the people because she knew that I would probably get them to, buy something. And she wouldn't have the magazines. She wouldn't have the magazines. She had a trunk full of Avon. She would buy the stuff and have she had her own little warehouse, and the people you wouldn't have to order and wait. They could pay her cash and get the product right then. So what she would do is she would go house to house for a couple hours and make enough money to buy all the groceries she needed for me to stay with her for that weekend.
Wow.
And I was like, this woman is brilliant.
So that's why when I go to your house, you still try to sell me makeup products.
That's right. And wigs and whatever you want. I've got it in my trunk. Yeah, so my grandma, that giant Buick Electra trunk was ginormous. I could have lived in there.
Much.
It's bigger than some apartments I've had.
Yeah, most people get a little sensible car, I think, or their parents do. Like a Ford Fiesta or something. My mom had a Mini, but not the posh kind of Mini that looks like, it's got an injection of sort of German, because now BMW own Minis. So, but it was kind of the old original Mini, basically a baked bean tin with tires on it.
Oh, delicious.
And it was red. It was red, but not a glamorous like red. It was more like tomato soup that had been left out in the rain. It was that kind of red. And
right.
it had some charming features, like the passenger door only opened when you swore at it, like Cockney rhyming slang.
Did it have pedals?
I'm going to throw you down the apples and stairs, open up, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I always remember my mom, I wasn't here for this because I wasn't born yet. My mom was telling me a story about, she was always an enthusiastic driver. Her driving style was like she was permanently late for a royal appointment, despite... despite her being on time and very organized. And one afternoon she was parallel parking badly because, she did. And she managed to run over a policeman's foot. And not just like roll over, roll. She actually rolled over it, like full contact, weight transfer, tire marks on the man's shoes, that type of thing. And what did she do? She didn't apologize. She didn't panic. She said, well, if you hadn't wanted to get run over, you should have moved your foot, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
So
been paying attention.
Exactly. As every week, we like to answer your questions. We are a car show. I know you sometimes wonder, but we are a car show.
Don't you worry about that. They'll figure it out. You don't have to keep telling them, I know, hey, we're a car show. Nothing says...
I want to remind them that we know and they don't have to keep writing to us. That's basically
Who cares? Let them write.
No, right.
Who's the lunatic writing?
The 3 fan mails we get a week. Let's do it. Let's ask.
All right.
Ask Tess Miles.
All right. Why do new car smells disappear so fast? It's true. It's kind of like that gum that goes away. You're chewing it 2 seconds later. It's like,
the
wait.
zebra gum.
Yeah, I can't even taste anything.
So what is a new car smell? Why does a new car smell like that? It's actually odors that come from off-gassing of the materials. It's the vinyls, the plastics, the adhesives,
Off-gassing?
the carpet. Yes, that's what it's all called, off-gassing. It's the carpet foam, the sealants, the leather treatments, and the paints. That's what that smell is. And basically, it fades fast. So VOCs evaporate. That's what they are. They're called VOCs. The compounds are volatile, which means they break down pretty easily. And they sort of evaporate into the air over time, especially when the car is exposed to heat or sunlight, because sunlight breaks down all of those chemicals. So in colder climates, your new car smell will last a little longer than in warmer climates. If you're sort of south of the Mason-Dixon line, if you open the windows, the off-gassing, the smell escapes. So if you want to keep that new car smell, keep the windows closed and keep the car below 50.
Now, why does the new car smell disappears, but like if you fart, it lingers for like 10 days?
Yeah.
Or BO, like that Seinfeld episode where the BO wouldn't leave the car.
That was stuck in
Some
the car.
some farts are very toxic.
Yeah.
The force is with them.
Yeah. Here's another one. Can I use cooking oil as motor oil in an emergency?
I love this question because the short answer is do not do it ever.
What is wrong with this person? Your car would catch on fire.
Yeah, well, so first of all, cooking oil is not designed to withstand high temperatures, which your engine has. It doesn't withstand high pressures, mechanical stress, the inside of the combustible parts that get really hot. It lacks, the additives like the detergents and all those sort of the anti-wear agents that are in oil. It also is, like oil, car oil is much thicker than cooking oil. Even though cooking oil can be thicker when it's cooler, it actually, with the heat in your car, will gum up your car. Like it'll turn into nasty goo and probably damage your engine and that sort of thing too. So please never put cooking oil in your engine. You're asking for
you lunatic.
disaster. Disaster.
All right,
Anyway.
here's another one. How long can a car actually run on empty?
This is interesting because there were several studies done, and of course, every car is different. Like some cars show empty when they still have more in a tank than others, so it's different. Most cars can go 30 to 50 miles after the fuel light comes on. SUVs and trucks might go 20 to 40 miles, depending on engine size and efficiency and how big the tank is and how they programmed everything in the car. Hybrids can push it further, sometimes 70 miles, I'd say, on a car, because the battery actually can assist reducing the amount of fuel consumption. So what affects that? Well, if your engine light comes on, if your gas light comes on, you want to drive slower because that uses less fuel. Try not to sort of go up and down hills unless you have to, obviously. If you have a heavy load, like if you're driving a pickup truck and you have a heavy load in the back, it's going to go down much faster. So there you go. Those are the things, but it depends what it is. But I would say 30 to 50 miles on a regular car.
I wish the warning signals on cars losing gas was like, my cats wanting their next meal because they're hungry like 3 hours before feeding time. So if they could start meowing, maybe have a sound effect in there where you hear dog sounds or cat sounds or something, maybe that would help.
See, if you start to look at your animals the same as you, I'm hungry 3 hours before dinner too. So
Test Miles.
What happens if I never change my air filter?
First of all, that's a really bad idea, never to change your air filter. So
Yeah.
it filters out the particulates basically in the car. So it filters out all the nasty stuff from going in. It keeps dust, dirt, pollen, debris from entering the engine. So if you don't change it, well, you reduce the engine's performance. It gets less oxygen, which means combustion doesn't happen as well. You'll notice your car getting slugged, the accelerator not being as peppy as it used to be, rough idling. So when you sit in the driveway, it'll be like, and there's my engine car sound. It'll hesitate when you put your foot on the gas. The engine will compensate for the poor airflow, but it'll use more fuel, about 10% more fuel. So it becomes more expensive in fuel by cheating on not replacing the air filter. And it'll just run rough and it won't run very well. And then the dirt can actually get in the engine and cause more problems. So those things like the pollen and the dirt gets into the pistons and the cylinders and the valves over time, and you'll get misfiring. You should probably change that filter every 12 to 15,000 miles or so, once a year, to get all the dust and pollen out. The bottom line is, if you don't change your filter, it'll eventually kill your car. So that's the bottom line.
Could you do that car sound again?
I'm
I'm going to isolate for the next show.
Good. As long as you have it.
Okay. Is it bad to drive barefoot?
Yes. I mean, in some places it's illegal to drive barefoot. The reason is that your shoes usually have a rubber sole or a rubber bottom. And so they...
and if you have a BBL, you also might have a rubber bottom.
Right. So it's not illegal in the United States. It is illegal in the UK, just so you know. But
if you're ever over there,
I mean, you have less grip. You can slip off the pedals, especially when outside is a bit wet or there's damp in the car. Thin and soft soles can reduce the feedback, because you get feedback from the pedals. You know when you push a pedal or those type of things, you get feedback from the car. They're designed that way to let you feel how you're braking and that sort of thing. So. It just gives you a whole different sense of driving. The bottom line is,
couldn't you feel
barefoot,
just as even more if you didn't have your shoe on?
You can, but it's a different feeling. So if you drive with your shoes on most of the time, then you're going to get a different feedback sensation. And if you're driving the same car, you'll react how you normally react. So. But it can be dangerous. You can get less grip and less push and those type of things. Just consider it, the insulation is gone from your foot. It's not illegal. It's not super dangerous, but it's not the safest thing to do.
It's not ideal.
It's not ideal. There you go. Ideal was the secret word.
No, it was. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The team is here, and they've worked very hard this week on giving us some news headlines. So let's play the... There it is! There it is! It goes on forever.
That's why it says in your script, it says sounder effects, loud, wait for it to fade. And you did! Except for you. Yeah, there you go.
I was encouraging it to go away.
You wanted it to keep going. You wanted to extend it.
There's been a lot happening in the car industry this week. The UK has actually approved a $1 billion EV battery gigafactory in Sunderland. It's sort of a massive Giga, as big as my right foot, factory investment for a new battery plant set to boost the UK's electric vehicle production. The factory is planned for Sunderland, which is up north, and they'll be doing like 100,000 EVs per year out of there for batteries, creating about 1,000 jobs. Officials have said that it will help the UK stay competitive in a global EV market, which isn't doing as well as we'd all expected. There you go. Our president says he has come to an agreement with the UK. They've struck a deal to lower vehicle tariffs, reducing the cost of British cars entering the US. Here's the deal, though. It goes from about 25% to 10%, but it's only for the first 100,000 vehicles. So whoever can sell the most is who wins. That's kind of how it works.
So the tariff sheriff has decided, 80% tariffs in China. So if any of the parts in any of these cars are made in China, do they still pass the savings along to you?
Yeah, something, this is interesting. So if it's made in the UK, but the parts come from China, I don't know if there's a supplemental tax. That's a really, really good question. Mm-hmm.
Wait, I have actually stumped you?
Yes. I'll have to go research it, because when I read all the stuff about the sort of the agreement, there was nothing in there that said, what happens if those parts are made in China.
Wow.
That's interesting. It's a very interesting one.
I can't believe I actually stumped you. What am I going to do?
I have to go
everything in my
research
life
it.
makes no sense now.
Right. Ferrari, Lamborghini, they have started to embrace hybrid technology. In fact, Lamborghini's entire portfolio has
How long has hybrid technology been around? All right, we'll try it.
Lamborghini's entire portfolio has an electric version now. They're all available. So if you want to get sort of, when I say electrified, I should say electric. I mean electrified.
Well, why didn't you say that? I mean, I have all this money to throw away. Why don't I just go out and get one of those right away?
The only supercar I would spend my own money on is a Lamborghini Urus, the SUV. It's the only car I would spend my money on. And, I don't have supercar money, but if I did, I would spend it on that Lamborghini
Why don't you
Urus.
get a deal? I mean, you talk about these cars incessantly.
I do get a deal. I can get a deal. I get lots of listeners' deals, too.
You do?
We get,
Just
a lot
ask
of them.
Nick.
Do you know, I was looking at the Nissan Aria this week. I was trying to work out what cars have really good deals in Portland. And actually, the best deal out there in Portland is a Nissan Aria right now. I think you end up paying something like $230 a month to lease one. So
Go to Bob.
That's
Bob.
Well, he doesn't do Nissan, but I'm sure you can
maybe
get
he does. Maybe he knows a guy that you can work,
He knows lots of guys that can help out, and gals, by the way. So there you go. All right. So I mean, that to me is a good deal on an electric car, but it's not a Ferrari and it's not a Lamborghini. Ford faces significant financial impact from tariffs. Ford says it could take $1.5 billion hit this year due to the rising tariffs.
Strikes again.
Yeah. Especially, it's really been hard on the auto industry, especially on imported parts. The company is adjusting its forecast, looking forward to ways to reduce those costs. A lot of car companies are absorbing them, at least for the first month, but Ford is actually now saying they are not going to predict what their earnings is going to be this year, because it's going to be a problem. And bad news for Nissan, by the way. Nissan has agreed to a multi-million-dollar settlement with New York after several dealerships were found to be overcharging customers at the end of their leasing. Now, investigations revealed that deceptive practices that impact hundreds of drivers. The company will reimburse those affected drivers and improve its leasing practices, which... leasing's a good deal, but it's one of those things where you have to read the fine print. And I tell everybody all the time, I wouldn't buy an electric car and only lease one, because the technology changes so fast, and leasing's a much better deal when you do that. But you got to be kind of careful with these leases. You've got to read the fine print, and you can sometimes come out on top. But if you don't read the fine print, it's the same as that radio contract. That's why we still work in radio for more money.
You got to have a guy to look over that thing. You don't know what these buffoons are trying to get you into. Oh, you're going to do a weekend. You're going to be spending a weekend in a parking lot with a meat wheel and selling chopsteak off a truck.
Spin the meal of wheat. I mean, the wheel of meat.
Yeah, you signed your contract. It said you would do this at least 5 times a quarter. What?
Yeah.
You don't want that.
This is why we still all work on the weekends for free, because we have bad contracts. That was the hardest
so
thing.
now does that mean did Nissan dodge a bullet by not going out of business because of this?
No, it wasn't that significant. I mean, I think it ended up costing them about $2.5 million, which is fairly small potatoes. Yeah, small potatoes when it comes to car companies.
That's what I pay in a tariff on Amazon Prime in a month.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry.
So it's small potatoes, but it does hurt. I mean, nobody wants to give up $2.5 million, and so they're going to have some serious budget cuts. But I think it's mostly the dealers that were found at fault, and the company got whacked, but the dealers were the ones that were not being honest about it. That's why I like to go to
Bob Lamphere.
Yeah,
I
go there
do
all
a thing
the time.
like this. They've been in business for so long. They're good to people. They help you out when they can, and I always like to see that when you got a guy you can trust, and there's not a lot of people out there you can trust anymore. But Bob Lamphere seems to be the guy.
He definitely is the guy, and he's been doing a lot of good work. There's a lot of moving and shaking on a daily basis in the auto industry, just specifically because things are changing so fast. I mean, we never quite know whether we're going to have a tariff one day to the next. So
I know.
It's a tough one.
It feels like, somebody thinks they're really smart for doing all this. But the lunatickery of no plan Like, what are you doing? Like, let people know, hey, look, here's what's going to happen. We're going to do this, and then we're going to have a deal, and then we're going to move on with our lives. Not this up in the air, like, you don't know, you can't plan your year financially because you don't know how much this stuff is going to cost or how much you're going to have to sell your cars for or if anybody's going to buy them when they put these huge tariffs on them. So you got to produce all these new cars, these things, and you got to bring all your operations to the United States, but you don't know how much it's going to cost you, and it's all up in the air.
Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult time for the car industry because nobody wants to invest in anything that they haven't already agreed to. And so what ends up happening is, do we agree to something, build a new factory, and then next month there's a different set of rules in place? It's hard.
Like Tesla
it's very,
right
very
now.
hard.
Do they even bother trying to do anything? I mean, they're done, right?
Yeah. Tesla's facing challenges because they do have a new Model Y coming out, but they, supposedly have millions and millions of dollars of unsold Cybertrucks on lots. But they don't have a PR department, so we can't ask. We can't ask. But the public is definitely very, very angry at Tesla for their, for Elon's attitude. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one, as a car. I mean, so you remove Elon from the equation, you've got real people who have jobs there. And some of these people are some of the sort of most intelligent and the cleverest software writers and engineers
he paid
in the business.
to shut up about them being the actual people that made Tesla. He paid to have the what is it? Let's say the co-founder title.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it.
It's all cloak and daggers. We are the TT, the Test Miles team. And we're going to do this thing again because...
Wait, the TT?
Yeah, the Test Miles team.
That would be TMT.
No.
Test Miles team.
Test Miles one word if you do it at .com.
What?
Testmiles.com.
Did you have a stroke during the commercial break? What happened?
What are you saying? What are you asking? I'm confused.
What's happening here?
We did this like a couple of breaks ago, and it's the most popular feature in the show, and we're going to do it again. Even if you didn't want us to do it, we were going to do it again. So
because Trish had more questions. Because I don't know, you must have scared Trish because she's allowed to just jump in whenever she wants. She has her mic on, but she didn't feel like she could interrupt you. So
Trish,
now
interrupt me anytime, and that's
okay.
That's an order.
Okay.
But what were your questions, Trish? Because they were good.
Earlier in the show, you were talking about like gas and how you can save gas if you're low or almost empty. And I'm guilty of this. I've done it many times where I'm getting low and I'm like, I need to coast. So if I know that like I'm going to go down a big hill, I will let off of the gas and just let it go as long as I can. Is that actually helpful? Does it save gas?
Yes, it is. It does save gas. And I'll tell you something else that I'm not going to recommend you do because it's dangerous, but you can do that will save you more gas. And that's putting the car in neutral. Because when it's in gear, the engine is still running as it goes down the hill. So when it's in neutral, it'll go to idling, so it'll have less revolutions and use less gas as you coast. But I think it's dangerous to do that because you have less control over the vehicle as well. So I can't recommend you do it, but I said those people that put it into neutral going down a hill will save even more gas.
Is it weird to butter up the knobs in your car? For some reason, that makes me feel comfortable.
No, yes, it's super weird unless you lick the butter off.
Oh, okay.
Test Miles.
Oh, yeah.
Nick, can I leave a banana in the glove box during summer?
Seriously? Is this person treating this show as a joke?
Hey, no, that's a good question because, sometimes you like to leave a sandwich in there. Like, what if it's a grilled cheese and it warms perfectly?
No.
You've got it in foil.
No.
And you leave it in the glove compartment, and then you get a nice crisp sandwich when you get in there.
The temperature inside your car in the sun can get up to 160 degrees.
Perfect for warming a sandwich.
It will
Maybe not a banana.
It'll accelerate and it will ripen, rot bananas dramatically. The odor will be fermented, nasty, leaky banana.
Maybe
has
that's why
ruined-
Lars Larson's car smells like that.
Yeah. Listen,
I was going to say, it's
sugars-
ruined many tubes of lipstick for me. Many.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because lipstick's made of oil, and oil, of course, becomes liquid at heat. You know, the sugars can melt out of a banana and seep into places in the car, permanently staining stuff. You know, it's just difficult to clean up. Mushy banana is in the glove box is nasty, and deep cleaning and professional
In the
cleaning
car,
might be required.
banana? Ugh.
Yeah,
Nobody likes that. No.
disgusting. Next.
What's the best way to keep cup holders clean?
So, you know, to clean cup holders, usually a damp cloth and some spray. You vacuum out the big parts first and then wipe out the others. But
Are you
there
obsessed? I watch those TikToks like a No Tomorrow. There's so many of them out there. People deep cleaning their cars, and they
Yeah.
use like sponges, little vacuum steamers. I love it. So good.
To prevent future mess, there are some very clever items on the market. First of all, you can use silicone cup holders and liners to go inside the cup holder, and you can just pull them out and put them in the dishwasher. You can.
But then what if
you don't-
liquid gets behind that silicon? as
No,
you
no,
say?
liquid can't get it. It will collect the liquid at the bottom. They're solid.
And then what? You just you put
just
that
put
in your
them in the-
dishwasher later?
Yeah. If you don't have those and you can't find them, a napkin at the bottom of the cup holder is a way to sort of catch stuff. Don't open containers. Like people have cans of soda and stuff. If you open them, they're bound to spray and spill. Try to stick with a sippy cup in there or a spill-proof mug of some sort, and just regularly clean them. It gets harder to clean when stuff is there for a while and it gets baked in the heat, and you know, especially like sugars are from sodas and that type of stuff. So
Now, why can't people just not eat in their car? Wouldn't that solve a bunch of stuff?
yeah, but then you miss the American beauty of going through a drive-through.
Of getting fat while you're driving down the road doing nothing?
Yes. See, that's your right as an American.
I guess so. They can't take that away from us yet. Why do my wipers always smear after I clean them?
That is a very interesting question.
You shouldn't clean them with
Basically-
butter. I know that.
Yeah, well, no. So first of all, if your wipers smear and there's residual, you can use alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, or vinegar if you don't have isopropyl alcohol in the house to wipe the wipers. That is the way to get. It's usually soap or a cleaning product that smears the windshield.
Oh, I see. So just pour like granddad's cough medicine on there and it works great?
No, isopropyl alcohol or vinegar is the way to do it. But you know, the entire edge of the wiper needs to be clean. You can't just clean it with a cloth, that sort of thing.
Then you lick it so it makes sure that everything's off of there. Then you try it, right?
Sometimes windshields have a film on them, like a film, a waxy film. You've got to clean the window thoroughly, otherwise it'll smear.
Not with
Use
your
glass,
tongue.
No, use glass cleaner or degreaser on the windshield to get rid of that. Clay bars can help remove sudden residual stains on a windshield, and then make sure you're using like the right kind of washing fluid. And also, sun can actually damage the blades of a windshield wiper, so they don't last. You should replace them every 6 to 12 months. If the edges are torn, they will also not clean the windshield properly. But the wiper fluid's really important. Make sure that you're using the proper cleaning agents. It's not putting dish soap inside the wiper. You get bubbles everywhere on the windshield if you do that.
And don't replace them with a Swiffer. It doesn't work.
Yes, it doesn't.
Ask Test Miles.
Is it true red cars get pulled over more?
There was originally some surveys done that had evidence to say, red cars got pulled over more. But more recently, I think the thinking sociologically is that the police see red cars more often. It's quick when they glance over, they see it. So like speeding, reckless driving, those sort of things, they're more likely to notice a red car, a primary color car. Some studies shows little or no true connection recently with traffic stops and the color of the car. Driver behavior matters.
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah, maybe it's drivers who own red cars are just crazy in the first place. But
Right, they're lunatics.
Red cars get blamed for having high visibility. The surveys don't actually show that. Interesting enough, in some insurance studies, black, white, gray, and silver cars actually get into more accidents and get more tickets than regularly. But that is probably because there's more of them on the road than any other car. 60% of the cars on the road are black, white, gray, and silver. So
do
that might be a
tires
reason.
really expire even if they look fine?
Yes. If you have tires from the 1940s on your car, you should be thinking about getting them replaced.
Where would you get those?
Hey, look, listen, aging rubber dries out and it oxidizes and becomes less flexible, even if the tread is barely worn. And this makes sort of old tires more prone to cracking, to blowouts, to poor grip, especially in emergencies or extreme conditions. Replacing those tires every 6 to 10 years should be the minimum that you do, even if you don't drive the car a lot. Look at the date of manufacturing. They don't put those dates on because they want you to keep buying tires, because most people wear out of those tires before they actually expire. So
like tires, we too are prone to blowout. Can a squirrel really chew through brake lines?
Yes, it's possible, but it's unlikely. So
What?
you're more likely to have rats. Rats in your car.
But rats
Yeah.
are just like squirrels without the tail, right?
Yes, true, they are. They're rats of the trees. Squirrels are rats of the
Do
trees.
squirrels hide their nuts inside your car? Is that a thing?
No, but in Japan, Mazda had a problem because the shape of one of its air vents was exactly the shape that spiders wanted to nest, and so spiders were nesting in Mazdas.
Oh, but they fixed that.
Yeah, they did. They changed the shape of it, but it was exactly what spiders wanted for their nest. So
They let the spider have the win? Like now spiders know they can control everything. They had one, all we have to do is just terrorize people in this car, and then they changed it. See the
Haven't
power
you seen
we
Harry
have?
Potter? Haven't you seen Harry Potter? Spiders do rule everything.
That's right.
Listen to previous episodes, watch automotive videos, and discover exclusive content.
Check out testmiles.com.
Give it up for Ike Doby, everybody.